Did you see the video, by the way, out of McAllister, Oklahoma?
Yeah, really stuck out to me, Michael. I mean, it was under a tornado warning, but you can see the damage. It was really early, and so
Goodness.
you need the sunlight in a lot of ways to kind of illuminate what happens in these overnights.
Yeah, Haley, it was you and I that were literally on the air here. We were tracking this as it moved through McAllister, and immediately after we were receiving reports that there was significant damage to buildings in downtown, and you can see it right there. I'm trying to determine if that is a tarp that they threw over the building or if that's actually like pieces of the roof itself. It's kind of hard for me to, you see that? I don't, like, it doesn't look like tarp. It looks to me as if
Yeah.
there may have been like the roof was literally peeled off the building is what it looks like. Long story short, a lot of damage done, and unfortunately, friends and family, not just in Oklahoma, but in Texas, we're not done just yet. We have a turbocharged piece of energy moving on through. And you can see what happened on Friday, by the way. This was right around sundown, Texas, where tornado warnings were in effect. But look at that wind, scooped up all of that dry dirt, that debris, and just tossed it all over the place. My goodness. Sights and sounds like this and visuals like this could be seen once again from Amarillo, Texas through Wichita Falls, and then even into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. That's where we have a heightened risk. It's a level 4 out of 5. It's that darker pink coloring that you're seeing. This is going to be for later on this afternoon and into this evening. But before we even get to this afternoon and into this evening, we're already tracking. I'm going to jump back to that graphic real quick because I want to localize and show you where we're actually seeing a couple of bubble up showers and thunderstorms already this morning. Here's where Lubbock, Texas is, not too far away from where we just showed you that video of that dust, but just east of Lubbock, seeing some showers, perhaps even a couple of thunderstorms there. We head further toward the east, and you can see just north of Dallas, this is going to be toward what we call the Red River Valley region. Showers and thunderstorms around Texarkana. This is all an appetizer on what's to become later on this afternoon, the full entree. Here's the ingredients behind what we're seeing and why we're expecting to see strong to severe storms. You step outside in Amarillo, Texas later on this afternoon, not only is it hot, but the air is just so thick with moisture, it almost feels like your clothes are like cling wrapped to your skin, real uncomfortable. You also look at the different wind levels with height, and again, there's crossing winds, just meaning that there's lots of energy for storms to tap into there. And just the storm energy itself, big fancy word we call it is CAPE. It stands for convective available potential energy. Sometimes I like to think about that and just think, this is what the gasoline looks like. Where you see those high octane pinks, if you will, just means there's a lot of energy for these storms to tap into. Here's the twisting and turning winds that we were talking about. Haley, you bring all this together, and what it means is that in the panhandle especially, of Texas, parts of Oklahoma, but I really think the panhandle of Texas is where we could see supercell thunderstorms form, tornadoes, and they could be big, EF2 or larger, with quote, giant hail. And we say large hail is like an inch in diameter, larger,
Yeah.
Up to 2 inches. But when you say giant hail, the wording, that means 4, 5 inches in diameter. It's the size of a CD could be seen once these storms fire up.
And if we look at the past, I mean, it doesn't have to be that far into the past. A couple weeks ago, we've seen hailstones over 6 inches. So Texas, you have a history of being able to produce large, damaging hail like that. So be sure to stay aware of that threat. It'll start off mostly as discrete storms. We're seeing some early morning convection as well, pretty strong even. We had Amarillo gusting of up to 80 miles per hour at around 2 o'clock in the morning. But look at how those storms begin to grow together. They coalesce into one larger MCS system. And that's where we could have the threat for more damaging winds as that starts to take over, let's say 8, 9, 10, and into the overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're thinking is Dallas-Fort Worth, if you're waking up with us this morning from DFW to Dallas Love, this is going to be more of an evening, perhaps even a nocturnal event. That means right around sunset is when things could get just real kind of touch and go for you by that point. I think before we get there, though, again, that tornadic threat is certainly going to be amplified too. And just to show this to you, that tornadic threat is going to stretch from Oklahoma City all the way down toward Abilene, with the greatest chances for wind damage right along the border of Texas and Oklahoma. Again, that's right along the Red River. Interestingly enough, that's kind of what separates the two states. But that's really going to be, I think, a good indication, a good line where we could see that, either an MCS or what we call a bow echo form and then just kind of scream right across the Red River Valley.
Well, recently we were talking about Brandon Kopic and his travels. I was out with Brandon, say maybe 2-3 weeks ago at this point, and we were out in Oklahoma City, but we drove as far south as a little north of Wichita Falls. But overall, that part of the country is decently rural. Now, Dallas-Fort Worth, different story, but there's a difference in how close these big cities are. So the hope would be that the peak of these storms happens in these smaller, more rural communities, and they don't impact millions of people, just based on kind of my knowledge of this region recently.
Yeah, that's a really good and great observation there, because once you get kind of outside of Oklahoma City, further south, and then right along I-35 as you're heading toward Dallas, you're right, a lot of great farmland. That's why people love living there. I mean, you got the open, you got the whole country ahead of you is what it looks like when you're driving there. But the problem is, to your point, when this does enter into the huge metroplex of Dallas-Fort Worth, millions of folks late this evening, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, this could produce quite a bit of damage just because there's so many more structures that are there.
Yeah, and while that starts to come in, we'll still see a little bit of convection behind it, more so in the form of rain, potentially a little bit of lightning going on, but not necessarily the severe storms. But because it's multiple rounds, it's leading to already a few inches of rain that we've seen, and now we're looking at another 2 to 3 inches in addition to that through the next 24 hours. And so I think flash flooding will be a little more commonplace for today.
Yeah, and you think about the soil down this way too. It's really interesting. It's very different from like the Midwest or Northeast. There's almost like a clay component to it as well. And as you know, water doesn't absorb in clay all that well at all. So yeah, when you start talking about Wichita Falls, 2 to 3 inches of rain in the next, say, 24 hours, that could be a big problem. Real quick, do you want to highlight the east, the 95 corridor from Georgia all the way up through D.C.? There is that severe weather threat with perhaps an isolated tornado south of D.C. over toward Richmond. To your point, it is World Pride Weekend in Washington, D.C., so millions of folks going to be out and about there. Something to certainly be mindful of. Timeline looks like this. I think the morning looks okay, but watch what happens this afternoon. Get some daytime heating, and showers and thunderstorms, Haley, begin to erupt.